Hi everyone, my name is Gwen. I'm from the Amazon Global Selling team. Warm welcome to the Amazon New Seller Accelerator program. Super excited to share more about what's this program all about. And I'll also be sharing more about Amazon, selling on Amazon. And with me, as you guys know, there's Jin Liang as well, our senior trainer, who also will be delivering the core content of our first training session. And he'll be covering the fundamentals of selling on Amazon, and he will also be sharing and also will be answering all of your questions that you might have. And if you have any questions with regards to the program itself, later on I'll get you to join our community and then you can ask the questions away in that community. And I'm also excited to introduce Amazon Global Selling to all of you. Some of you might know us better well, and some of you might not. So I'm here to actually introduce all of you to the program as well as to Amazon Global Selling, and to actually also share about the opportunities that's available on Amazon.com and how you can actually reach millions of customers from Singapore or from Philippines. And our team actually looks into introducing Amazon Global Selling, increasing brand awareness, and as well as building a seller community, which is very important to us. And we're a fully dedicated team looking into onboarding sellers and brands, and to also, most importantly, help all of you kickstart your journey on Amazon. Okay, just to share what this program is all about, it's actually a free 12 weeks curriculum, and there will be step-by-step guidance. So we will have curated trainings that will go through different content, different topics, as well as live Q&A sessions, like I said. And you'll be able to actually connect with fellow sellers, as well as industry experts, with this exclusive community of sellers that are joining this program. And we will be inviting external speakers as well throughout this entire 12-week program. So then they will be covering different topics, as well as our senior trainer Jin Liang, who will also have different topics on Amazon that he will be sharing about. And also we will have bi-weekly syncs. So these are syncs that are held by the Amazon team, and it's like a ask me anything sort of session where you drop into the session as for the Amazon team to actually check in with you if you have any questions or what's your current progress in terms of starting on Amazon. And this accelerator program starts today and it ends on 5th September. And the weekly webinars will be held on a weekly basis, and all sellers in the program are auto-enrolled in the sessions. As you've seen, you guys will be able to access all the different sessions that has been scheduled. And all of you can look out for the webinar link, which you used actually today to actually access this webinar. And alternatively, you can join the community chat group, which I will also share with you guys later on, and look out for our reminders. And the full curriculum, if you're curious right now, you can actually type in or take note of this link. Later on, I'll show you the QR code. It's amzn.to/accelerator curriculum. And also post-webinar, you'll also receive an email on a list of self-help resources that you can actually refer to. So for every post-event email that you're going to receive is actually relevant to what has been covered in the webinar itself. And as I said, right, we will have bi-weekly syncs. So all these bi-weekly check-ins, right, is to make sure that all of us are on track on starting on Amazon. Okay, so becoming an Amazon seller, right? So how does it actually work? So if you own a brand, first we will encourage you to enroll your brand. And at the end of this whole program, right, you should be able to know how to create and add A+ content to your product listings, enroll your products on Amazon Vine, create sponsored brand ads, and also know how to set dynamic prices using automated pricing. Sign up for FBA, which my team will share more information on in the following sessions, as well as to create sponsored product ads to actually help you get more sales. All right, and sometimes when we look at becoming an Amazon seller, right, there are different business models that you might have heard of. So the first thing I'd like to share is on drop shipping. So it's a retail fulfillment method where the seller or the drop shipper actually accepts orders from customers, but do not actually stock or actually own any of the inventory. And there are also sellers who actually adopt reselling. Okay, reselling is a method of actually finding low cost or discounted goods and then reselling them online. And then there's one last group of sellers, whom we call the brand owners. And these are businesses and brands that actually develop their own products from scratch, and then they also have a trademark. And this is what we want to encourage, right, on Amazon, to have your own trademark, because it brings you greater branding and greater control over your product packaging, your product quality, and also control over your fulfillment process. So what I mean by control over your fulfillment process, right? It means, like, for example, drop shipping, right? Order fulfillment um actually actually has a lot of uh, has a lot of you might have limited branding, and you have less control over fulfillment. So what did I mean by less control fulfillment, right? It means that your supplier will actually fulfill the orders on your behalf, which also means that you might have to deal with customer complaints if there are any delays or issues with their order. So for example, if you're a brand owner with Amazon, right, then if you adopt FBA, you will have FBA will help you cover all customer service as well in their local language. So that's one important part that actually helps you as a brand owner, and how by launching as a brand owner on Amazon, it will help you, give you more control over order fulfillment processes, over customer service, as well as you will enjoy higher profit margins as well. And what did I mean by higher profit margins, right? Why is there low profit margins, for example, with business models like drop shipping? Because drop shipping actually involves selling pre-made products, which also means that actually suppliers would already have considered their profit margin. And therefore, to increase profit margins, you might have to increase the selling price as well. And additionally, with minimal profit margins, you might have to also increase sales significantly to actually generate the same profit as retailers that actually adopt a regular retail fulfillment method. And because of this economies of scale, that's why drop shipping might not be something that would be encouraged. Yeah, and why poorer customer service for drop shipping methods, for example? Because if your supplier, for example, delays delivery or sends an incorrect or damaged product to your customer, it may reflect very badly on your business. And because you have no control over inventory or order fulfillment at all, you might not be able to solve customer issues very promptly. All right, so I've shared so much, right? Shared a few business models. So how does success look like on Amazon? Allow me to share more about seller success, and let's see how others do it on Amazon. Okay, I'd like you to meet Steph. Steph is actually a founder of a fashion brand called Petite Simon. Some of you might have heard of him. Some of you might have seen him somewhere. It launched in 2021. So this is a Singapore-based brand. This Singapore brand actually continues to see 80 to 90% growth in monthly sales in the US. And the idea of Petite Simon actually first came about when Steph's wife actually found that there was a gap in this market for affordable, quality, everyday bags. And actually, Steph's wife loves bags. And that was one of the key inspirations for Petite Simon, which and Steph also actually believed in the potential of e-commerce, which actually became one of the greatest push for actually launching Petite Simon as an e-commerce business. And it actually hit six-figure sales in less than a year. And with his experience on selling on Amazon, he cannot emphasize enough about the importance of FBA. And what do I mean by FBA, right? Just now I also mentioned FBA means fulfillment by Amazon. And what is FBA, right? So there are many aspects to a business, and you may be dealing with many moving parts. And logistics is actually one area that is extremely crucial to the business, yet the most time consuming. So as part of this fulfillment by Amazon, which otherwise known as FBA, Amazon actually helps you to manage all of your customers' inquiries, returns, as well as refunds. So actually you can actually refocus and focus your energy and your power, right, to actually grow your business. Hence, with FBA, actually saves you the time, and it also allows you to scale your business more easily because you're more focused on making business strategic decisions. And also at the very beginning, right, when you're at the very beginning, nascent stages of your business, you might wonder, how are you going to get customers to know your product, and how to actually build trust. And that's the core um core core uh, question that a lot of sellers actually have, right? And for Petit Simon, so they actually relied a lot on Amazon Vine reviews. So what is Amazon Vine, right? Uh, During this whole program itself, you will learn a little bit more, but just let me share briefly with you on Amazon Vine. So what Amazon Vine does, right? It's a program where trusted Amazon reviewers will be invited to actually test out new products for free, to populate reviews in the initial stage. And with these reviews, other customers will then have more confidence to when it comes to purchasing the items from a new brand, um, which is important because given the lack of interactions and products that are available online. Next, Steph also actually emphasizes the importance of understanding the needs and wants of customers, and it's very important to actually cater uh, their designs to the right audience. And what do I mean by that? Because it is very important for us, for sellers, to actually understand that selling in the US would mean that your product has to be catered to the needs of the US customers. And it is very inherently important to also understand the different customer behaviors and preferences across different regions, because when for Petit Simon, because they were growing a brand in both Asian as well as Western countries, they had to push out designs that actually met different needs for different consumers in different regions. And for example, also Steph actually shared that North American customers have very different preferences when it comes to, like, for example, shoulder bags than that of our Southeast Asian customers. So their market research team really had to dedicate a lot of time and effort into identifying these differences and also proposing various tweaks to designs to actually better fit that particular customer pool. And also, Steph also uses the Product Opportunity Explorer tool to actually continuously develop his range of products to widen the offerings to his customers. That also helped his business grow on Amazon.com. And Steph also shared before that for Amazon, even though they're a relatively new seller, they had a month-on-month growth of 80 to 90% of gross merchandise value in terms of sales. And during events like Prime Day, they're able to hit up to 5 times their average daily regular sales volume. And also another of our seller ambassador, Joseph, also enjoyed success on Amazon. So Joseph is the founder of Argon 40 and also emphasized that as an emerging brand and startup, Amazon actually played a big role in enabling them to be on the same stage as other established brands. So it is completely possible for smaller brands and sellers like yourself to also achieve success on Amazon. And another small independent brand that became the #1 lip scrub on Amazon.com, Handmade Heroes, Lindsay Lim, the founder, actually launched on Amazon.com in 2015. And in 2016, the vegan, halal-friendly lip scrub actually rose to the top 10 lip scrubs on Amazon.com. And also, Lindsay actually attributes this to the fact that Amazon global selling actually levels the playing field for relatively unknown and independent brands with good value propositions and good quality like hers to succeed. With that, I'd like to pause here and give you a little bit more administrative side of things, because there are a few things that I mentioned previously in my introduction, right? That there will be a community as well as community chats. So I'd like to pause in the next slide for a while because I'll let you guys to join our community if you haven't. We have a RSEA seller community as well as a Philippines community. I understand that some of us here are from Philippines and some of us here are based in Singapore. So these two communities are both dedicated communities with a vibrant group of sellers in it, and as well as our Amazon team as well, we're in it, and we are always giving updates on like webinars, on content, and on different seller success stories. We're active over here, so please do join our community. And if you have any questions, for example, with regards to the program or with regards to anything under the sun with regards to Amazon, do ask in a way in the group. We're happy to take your questions. Don't worry if you're a Singaporean and want to join the Philippines community, or if you're a Filipino and then you want to join the RSE seller community. It's no problem. You can just scan the QR code on the screen and then you can join the group. And then the admin team at the back end would process your and approve you and then allow you to join the group. Okay. Next, this is the most important thing that I'd like to highlight to all of you. To join the community chat. This is an exclusive community chat for those that are in the Amazon New Seller Accelerator program. So this is a dedicated Telegram channel that we would be pushing out updates on our post-webinar resources, our playback links, because as we're going to record all of our training sessions throughout this accelerator program. So we will be updating all these links as well as providing you with all these self-help resources in this channel. So do join it. It's free. The team behind the new accelerator program would be in the channel as well, be handling the channel, and myself as well. I'm that one of the admins. So do join the channel and keep yourself updated. If you have any problems with joining the Telegram channel, do drop us a DM or a message on Facebook or in the community group previously, and we will be able to address your issues. All right. I'll just pause here for a bit so all of you can scan and join the group. Okay. And then there's another page that I would like to drive all of you guys to. Previously I gave you the link, but now there's a QR code that's easier for you to scan if you're on your desktop. This is our curriculum. So in this site, you'll be able to find the whole 12-week plan and all the dedicated sessions and some resources as well that will be made available to you. So do check this out and bookmark this page so that you can refer to it very often whenever you need to refer to it. All right, and you can over there you also be able to find our playback links. So after our webinar, we will record it and then we will be posting it on for all of our sellers who might have missed the session. So you can use those links as well in the curriculum page in order for you to uh, rewatch the videos if you would like to. Okay, and with that, I would like to close up my presentation. There's an email here. If you need any help, you can drop us an email here at globalselling-sea@amazon.com, or you can chat with us directly on the community chat, which is amzn.to/newsellertally. And if you didn't catch, if you want to learn more about the program, or if you didn't catch the previous QR code on the curriculum, here are the QR codes. Okay, and with that, I'd like to hand the time over back to JL. And JL?
All right, so I hope everybody can see my screen. If not, let me know. All right, so if you have some issues, you might want to try to reconnect back, because I know sometimes the technical issue happens. You can see the screen, but you cannot hear me, or you can hear me, but you cannot see the screen. Right, if that's the case, try to relog in. So I'm going to go right through in. So I will be covering or sharing the details about fundamentals of selling on Amazon. So some important notice, and also just a quick introduction of the team. I'm actually under the seller education team, which is also part of the Amazon Global Selling team. And then I do conduct some live webinar as well as the current session, and also some content that we do have from the Seller University for everyone to actually enjoy and learn from it. Well, last but not least, again, you can find a recording on the official website as well as those hyperlink that Gwen shared earlier on. Right. So the content itself will be shared. However, for any Q&A at the end, it will be exclusively for live attendees only. So if you have any question, let us know in the question box on your right-hand side normally. Or we have a team over here who is helping to address the question as well as we are speaking right now. So at the end of it, I'll leave some time for Q&A as well, so not to worry. Well, last but not least, if you have any, if you chance upon any information, if you can, do always refer to the most updated videos if there's any, right? Just to make sure that, especially things on pricing, etc., it is the most updated information in Seller University and Seller Central Help. Right, very quickly, the agenda for today, we will cover a few key agenda. This is what you see over here. All right, the first one I think is very applicable for all new seller. It is the new seller incentive. So what is this about? So There's a bunch of like incentive actually as a new seller you get to enjoy. All right. So eligible seller will be automatically so-called enrolled in this program. You don't have to do anything, right? So long you have launched your first viable ASIN in, for example, like US, all right, on or after 1st of March this year, you should be automatically enrolled into this program. All right, so other eligibility will be things like you need to be holding a professional selling account, all right, not the individual selling plan, the professional selling plan, right? And then also the one I mentioned earlier on, you launch your first viable ASIN, meaning that your ASIN can actually be found on the Amazon.com right after the 1st of March this year, then you will be eligible for the new seller incentive. Right, so what these incentives cover is actually a group of these benefits that can help you to grow your brand, to scale your business, as well as some credits to help you to promote your products to get more visibility. I will cover what are the programs, or rather what are the benefits in the later slides. Right, so in summary, you can get up to 52,000 right USD in sales rebates for your first $1 million sales. All right, so brand owners can enjoy these benefits. All right, in any accumulated bonus, will expire 12 months after you so-called completed this new seller incentive program thing. All right, so you also get to have like perfect launch guide for new seller. And last but not least, as I mentioned, is actually auto enroll. In the past, you might have to manually enroll, but going forward, so long you have your first ASIN after the 1st of March this year, it's automatically enrolled. And I will also show you where you can check whether or not what are the benefits that you have actually used up already if you are eligible. All right, first of all, the benefits that help you grow your brand is, as a brand owner, a bit of recap, right? To be a brand owner, you need to have a registered trademark, right? A trademark that you can use it to register under the Amazon brand registry. Then you will be able to be classified as like the brand owner. Right. So you complete the brand registry enrollment within the 6 months. All right. Then these are the benefits that you will get. All right. You get a 10% bonus, etc., on your first 50,000 in your eligible sales, and also the 5% bonus on your next 950,000 sales. All right. So by the way, all this is in USD. All right. For context here, these are in USD. All right. And then the requirements are stated here. So for Vine as well, I think somebody asked some question about Vine. You also get 200 credits that you can use to offset your fees for the Amazon Vine, which is like a review program for sellers. Right, next one, the benefits that can help you to scale your business. So what you need to do is you got to be enrolled into FBA, meaning that you're using FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, to fulfill your product, and then your product is to be shipped to the fulfillment center. Right. So if you are using Send seller export and delivery program, right, you will get $100 credits. Right, the requirement is stated there. So within the first 90 days, you need to send your inventory to the Amazon fulfillment center. Right, the other one is if you are using Amazon Global Logistics, is another first mile delivery options that you can utilize. If you do not have your own logistic partner, you can use Amazon Global Logistics as well to have your inventory shipped from, in this case, currently support China to US, right? So if your supplier is from China, you can actually use it to ship your products, your inventory to the US fulfillment center, and you also get 200 credits, right, by being eligible for the new seller incentive. Right. So other things will be applicable. Let's say you're using FBA to fulfill your inventory, to fulfill your order, or you get free storage, free liquidation, and free returns processing, etc. Right. And on your first year, all right, you get the exemption from storage utilization surcharge, and also the exemption from low inventory level fee. Right, that's more. All right, so there is an inbound placement fee. So if you're eligible in the new seller incentive, you also get up to 400 credits to help you cover the cost of your inbound placement fee. So it's a fee where you will be subjected to when you send your shipment into the fulfillment center directly, all right, based on the weight and the size of your product. And also, again, there will be 10% off the fulfillment fee on your first 100 units. All right, so if you're using FBA, you know that there is a FBA fee, which is the so-called the fulfillment fee, right, and on top of the referral fee. All right, so with this incentive, you get 10% off. All right, next one, to help you promote your product, you also will get $50 credit. All right, so if you launch your sponsored product ads, it's an Amazon ad solution, you will get $50 in the promotional clicks. Right, so Amazon ads are on a click per cost basis, cost per click. All right, so whenever somebody clicks on your ads, you'll be charged a fee based on the price or the biddings of your keyword, etc. So with the benefit, you get $50 credits to offset it. All right, and the requirement is that, again, similarly, you got to launch your first Bible ASIN from 1st of March this year, and then you launch your sponsored products campaigns within the 90 days of your product launch. Right, so this is the last benefit already. I think that's quite a fair bit of benefit. So you also get $50 credits for you to run any coupons promotion. Right, so for those of you who are not aware, there is a coupon redemption fee. Let's say if you run a coupon for like 5% off your product. So whenever the coupon is being redeemed by your customer, there is a 60-cent redemption fee. So this $50 credit will be able to help to offset that cost of the redemption fee, right? If you were to run any coupons, promotions for your products. So with so many incentive, right, we have a dashboard in your Seller Central, right? Very quickly, you can just search for it. You can just search for new seller incentive dashboard, right? You should be provided a link that can go directly to the dashboard. Right, you will be able to see what are the benefits that is available to you as a new seller. Right, so if let's say any of the benefits shown, it has a button for you to register, meaning that you will need to complete a task, then you'll be eligible to unlock the benefits. All right, so basically the dashboard will show all the benefits that you are eligible, and then for those that you are not eligible yet, there will be an option for you to register. For example, in this case, brand registration is not done. So you can just follow through with your trademark and register your brand, then you will be able to unlock the benefits. And then all your benefits utilized will be able to track from this dashboard itself. Right, so this is just to say what happens after you complete the requirements, and then the utilization will be shown in this dashboard. So there is a dashboard for you to track how much of the incentive have you actually utilized under the new seller incentive. Right, so yeah, fret not, we have the guide as well. You can do a quick scan. So if you miss this, it's fine. You can also scan it in our recording. Right, we have a one-pager guide from Seller University as well to share with you, and also we have some YouTube videos as well to share with you what are the new seller incentive available for new seller. Right, I'm going to move on to the next section. Now, if you have questions regarding the new seller incentive or NSI, feel free to put it into the question box. All right, the next thing I want to share is SPN. So SPN is actually the short form name for Service Provider Network, right? So it's called the Amazon Service Provider Network, or SPN. You can actually find this page inside your Seller Central account as well. So it's like a one-stop shop for the Amazon seller like yourself to discover services to help you launch, manage, or even grow your business. So as a directory of third-party service provider across the globe, where you can select the different selections or filter to find the partner you need. All right. I can zoom in for you. All right, you can see that there's an option for you to select where are you located, where do you want to sell in, and what kind of support you need. All right. So across your weeks of this new seller accelerator program, we also do get some service provider to join our webinar as well. So do stay tuned. So this is an overview of what are the services available that you can find. Things like imaging, cataloging, account management, or even optimizing your ads. All right, this kind of the things like returns, etc. Even FBA prep, you can find from one of the service provider there. However, make sure you do your own due diligence. You would have to reach out to them, liaise with them, and then have a chat with them to see whether the provider meets your business needs. All right. So this is entirely up to you to negotiate or to discuss it with the service providers directly. All right, so the next part I want to share with everyone is how can you check the demand for your product? Well, there's a few ways, right? So I actually saw one of the question asked by one of the attendees regarding Product Opportunity Explorer. So this is actually one of our very useful and popular tools, right? So under the Seller Central, right, if you have access, if you have not used it, I will encourage you to try it out after the webinar. You look under the menu under growth, you can see the Product Opportunity Explorer, right? So this is like the Amazon own market and product research tool, all right, that you can see the customer demand on the store level, meaning that you select whether you want to look at the US store, Canada store, or etc. Right, so I'm going to just zoom in here. You make sure you select the right store here. There's a drop down there, right? If you're selling the US, make sure you select the US store, right? This is only available to seller holding the professional selling plan. So you can use this to validate your product ideas, or you can use this to validate of what you want to sell, whether or not there's demand, or you can find niches as well. It will show you what is the top trending product, etc. So you can do either a category search or you can just do a keyword search, right? There's a few ways that you can go about using this. So like I mentioned earlier on, firstly, you can do a keyword search. Alternatively, you can search via the ASIN directly if you want to. Let's say you know that you have a competing or competitor product that you know of. You can search via the product ID and put it there, and it will give you some insights about that particular product. Or you can just click on the example niches that is available right when you log in. It will show below like what is the trending kind of the product or niches that is in the targeted store that you select. All right, with the ASIN search, you can search based on the individual ASIN, as I mentioned, learn about the individual product trend, right? So this can help you to really get a sense of your competitor product if you have it, something like that. All right, to look at whether or not is it actually worth competing with this particular competitor, right? Learn about your target market, etc. Right, the other way, if you look at the keyword search, similarly, a lot of information will appear. You can look at the search term, search volume, the volume growth in the past 90 or 180 days, depend on your selection. Right, you can look at the average units sold and also the how many of the number of are there in terms of the top click product and what is the average price for that product. Right, so this really helps you get a sense of whether or not are there any demands in the particular market that you are selling in, right? And then it's all Amazon data, so it can be pretty accurate in that sense. You can even see the trend, help you understand were there any types of seasonality for the kind of product that you're selling, or was there only a particular period of the year where this product has more traction or more sales velocity, right? This can also help you plan your, let's say if you are going to sell something that is subjected to the seasonality movement, right? This will be something you can use to as a gauge of, whether or not it makes sense for you to send in your product at a certain period before to enjoy, the seasonality, sales volume or sales trend. So another feature which I think is very useful, all right, is the customer review insights. So instead of you having to go into each of a single potential product that you want to sell and just analyze the product reviews directly, you can use this feature. It's called the customer review insights. Right, so this will appear when you do a search on the product that you want to research on. Right, they will help to aggregate in terms of all the reviews for the particular niches to tell you what are the positive reviews and what are the negative reviews. Right. So this is something you can use either for, let's say, your own product if you already have launched something, where you can see how you can make your product better by analyzing the positive or the negative reviews, right? Or this can also help you explore into the untapped new product potential. Maybe that is something you have the network or you have the factory that could manufacture a certain feature that was stated, perhaps in the negative side of things on how certain product can be better for a particular group of target customers. So you can really use this data to your advantage in terms of analyzing the reviews by using these tools without having to aggregate yourself. All right, I also want to share we do have a recent product sourcing playbook. If this is something that you think will be useful for you, there are some guidance on how you can go about sourcing your product. And the next one is also a similar opportunity and selection kind of a guide that we have as well, right, to share with you what are the other growth opportunities available and what are the selection guide as well that you can actually download or view it in Seller Central on your own free time. Okay, the next part is, after doing all your research or, your product ideas, validation, etc., you will want to know whether or not your product is it compliant with the regulatory requirements in, for example, US. All right, so again, depending on where you're selling, you will have to do your own research in terms of is it something that can be sold in the target country, for example, like not just US, Canada or even Mexico, etc. Right, so in this context, I'm just going to share, US basis, all right? But the process should generally be similar, meaning that you have to find out certain requirements, is it necessary? And also there are some tools available in Amazon that can help you as well. So what can you actually sell? There's a lot of things that you can sell, more than 24 categories. I mentioned over here in these slides. And then you want to be aware there are some restricted product categories. So meaning that this kind of product will need additional documentation that you need to provide, right, before Amazon can actually approve and make your listing available for everyone. So first of all, you will want to check whether or not you are selling in the restricted categories, right? Things like typically targeting like children product or food or things you're gonna apply on your face or skin. That kind of product usually will require approval, right? Like food, you need a FDA approval. Right, next thing you want to know is whether or not your product needs the product barcode or the product ID. Right, I will share a slide as well on how can you check whether or not your product needs to be having a barcode or not. Right, so if needed, you will need to get your barcode directly from GS1, which I will share earlier on, or which I'll share later on. And then lastly, of course, prepare your listing, get the proper images, your listing copy, description, etc. So the first two things are the more important parts to make sure that you have the documents, if applicable, to get it done or before preparing your listing. Right, so these are the table to show you which are the restricted product, which are the prohibited products, and which are the FBA prohibited products, etc. All right, this is not the exhaustive list, I would say. Right, so I provide a link there, but actually this list can be easily found in Seller Central. You just need to search for the restricted product category, etc. All right, it should appear in the help, Seller Central help. All right. So prohibited means you cannot even actually sell it. All right, gambling or lottery product, that kind of stuff. All right, restricted means that you will need to get certain approval. You need to go through perhaps some form of certifications before you are allowed to sell it, etc. Yep. So again, this is just an overview, but the best is you will have to check out, what are the exact requirements that you need from the following regulatory. So these are just example of the common US market regulator or regulations that you need to go to, right? So for example, like the Consumer Product Safety Commission, right? You will need to get approval from them if you are selling products such as children's toys or even home products or like thing, yeah. So and then FCC if you're selling electrical products, right, or FDA, etc. Right, this is not everything, but just for you to know that for product that require approval, you will need to get all these regulatory entity to help you certify your product, and then you need to upload those documents into Seller Central. So we do have a compliance reference guide in Seller Central, right, that can help you check whether or not and an overview of whether the product you're selling does it require any form of approval. All right, so you can actually find this under the account health option, all right, under manage your compliance, and then you will have this compliance reference tool. All right, they will ask you like what you want to sell in which country, and then what kind of products that you are going to sell into the category. Right, so just follow through the step-by-step guide, and at the end of it, they will tell you whether or not what kind of the approval, if needed, that you need to get from. Right, so on that same page, you also have this compliant dashboard. So this is a dashboard where all your product which require the compliance document, any approval document will show up, and it's a place where you upload those documents for Amazon team to verify and then to make your listing available. Right. So there is a short videos here. You can do a quick scan and you can view the video on your own time. Right. So of course, another way is, you can actually list your listing first, and if any requirements is required or any approval is required, it will actually pop up in your account health dashboard as well, right, to tell you that your product needs to submit additional documents to verify whether or not it can be sold on Amazon. Right, so again, we also have the content from the Salon University to guide you. If you are someone who likes to read, this will be very helpful. All right, these are other two useful documents. It's more regarding your policy compliance and your cross-border trade compliance. All right, this is the last part already. So again, if you have any question, do feel free to put it in the question box. All right. Now, this is the last part regarding the product ID, so GTIN. So earlier on, I think I mentioned that, one of the things you need to consider is whether or not the product you're selling, do you require a product ID or barcode or, whatever you call it is actually the product ID. All right, so importance of the GTIN. So GTIN stands for Global Trade Item Numbers, or all these things you see over here like UPC, EAN, ISBN, etc. It's just different um, names of the barcode required for different types of product category. Like ISBN is usually for books, right? Okay, so for barcode wise, right, if your product does need a barcode or so-called a product ID, you will have to get it from GS1. Right. So GS1 is so-called like the only company that Amazon will recognize, and Amazon will verify the product ID, the barcode from. So make sure that you get your product ID from GS1, right? In fact, from my understanding, all the products, all the barcode that is, that is available globally is actually all managed by, or rather, got from GS1. All right, so it essentially consists of the database of all the product IDs globally. All right, so you will need to get it directly from GS1. Right. So if you are listing something or a product that do not have a GTIN, all right, first of all, if you are not the brand owner, you will need to get a support or like an authorization letter from the brand owner or the manufacturer or publisher to prove that your product doesn't have a GTIN, all right, the product ID. So this is just the more detailed version of what's the different product code, UPC, ISBN, EAN, JN, etc. Now again, I want to highlight the importance here is that Amazon will verify the authenticity of the product identifier against the GS1 database. Right, so whatever information you provided, if it doesn't match, your listing will be suppressed. All right, meaning that it will not appear for sale in Amazon. All right, so do not get your product ID from some unauthorized places or you bought it off somewhere from third party. All right, we do have cases whereby seller bought some kind of the barcode from someone else, and then when the verification is done, and obviously the product ID that was originally registered is not the same product as the one that is being listed, and of course the listing will be suppressed. Right, so make sure you get your product ID directly from GS1. Okay, so you must be thinking, well, there are some product that you do not need GTIN, right? Right, so if your product is not so-called doesn't really need a product ID, you can request for GTIN exemption. Right, only certain cases where you can get a GTIN exemption. So I actually put it down here below. Right, so if you are selling product where the product manufacturer does not have a GTIN, all right, and of course, if you're not the original brand owner, you will need to provide some form of like authorization, or if not, if you are the product brand owner, if you are selling private labeled product or handmade products, you don't need to have a product ID, then you can apply for GTIN exemption. All right, so how can you apply? Now, under the creating a listing, so when you first want to create a listing, this is something that you will see. Creating a listing, you will usually, let's say if you're creating a listing that is not sold on Amazon, you will select the option, the first one. Right, then of course you put in what are you selling, etc. And then there will be a part where you will be asked over here, all right, something you see. Let me just zoom in quickly. Right, something like that. Right, so if your product is not one of the product that requires a barcode, and then it's not necessary to have a product ID, it's a private label product that you are the brand owner, just click on the checkbox. All right, so there will be an option that says, oh, a GTIN exemption is required. Then you click on the hyperlink, okay, and then you click on apply now. So it will bring you directly to the page on what are the information that you need to put in to apply for the GTIN exemption. Right, so the form may look a little bit different depending on what the category that you're selling, but generally it's just the form filling. Just make sure that you put in as accurate information as possible. Right, once it's done, you just need to submit it, and you will be informed whether or not has it been exempted or not for the product ID. Right, you should receive an email, or you can look at your case log. Okay, so here's the part, which product category needs a GTIN. All right, I do have a link to the direct Seller Central page as well. All right, so this is an overview. So always check back the page because who knows, it might change. It might be updated from time to time on the requirements, right, depending on whatever regulatory requirement, etc. But do always check on the website for the most updated list, right? You'll be see like a table like that, what category, whether or not you require a product ID, and then if any exemptions or exception, what are those? All right. Okay, that's the end of the section I want to cover. Now we are actually towards the end, and I'm glad that we have time for the Q&A.